Hi, this is David. Welcome to a video review of Amenc, Chapter 4, or at least part of Chapter 4, which is called Applying Capital Asset Pricing Model to Performance Measurement. We are in, of course, Part 1, Topic 1, Foundations, and this particular reading has a long history in the syllabus. So we only have a couple of learning objectives here, but each of them really itemize a few different measures, and we will see that consistent with the title, that the capital asset pricing model, which is a single factor model, plays an important role in these measures, but not an exclusive role. I do have also some snapshots, screenshots from the learning spreadsheets. This is an area where over many years, I've revised the learning spreadsheets. So anyone who's interested in taking a deeper dive, you can absolutely see the specific calculations for all of these measures, including the Sortino ratio and a simulation of that ratio. So I'll start with the first of the two learning objectives, which is asks us to calculate, compare, and evaluate the Traynor, the Sharpe, and the Jensen's alpha. And so you notice we have three action verbs here, or all three really. Calculate, compare, and evaluate. That's a pretty comprehensive action verb statement. And so it really is asking us to understand these measures and be able to apply them. So all three of these measures are common in finance, not just in the FRM, but also in the CFA. So we see them often. So they're very well seasoned, and they're also, by the way, easy to test. It's very easy to write a question that can be answered quickly for any three of these measures. So we've got a case here of they're common and they're easily tested. So for the Traynor and the Sharpe that we have on this slide, one of the things I like to point out is that they have the same numerator, right? In both cases, we have what we typically call the excess return, right? Without any caveat attached. Excess return is going to be the return in excess of the risk-free rate. And so that's what we have in the numerator here for both the Traynor and for the Sharpe. And so what we have here are measures of return per unit of risk, right? Return in the numerator is excess return. Risk is in the denominator. And it's an issue here, or a choice here, of what's the risk in our denominator. And so the Traynor measure has beta in the denominator. The Sharpe measure has volatility of the portfolio, as usual denoted by sigma. And so this is the most common measure of risk. And in this context, it's going to be total risk, because the Traynor using beta is going to be just the systematic risk. We also have the Jensen's alpha, and that's the portion of the excess return that is not explained by the systematic risk. By the way, notice I'm recently sensitive here to that distinction. We correctly have systematic risk here and not systemic risk. And so here we have, this is the capital asset pricing model, or at least the ex post version of the capital asset pricing model, right, where we say the excess return, we would expect it to be ex ante a product of beta and the market's excess return, but ex post we observe some difference there, and so that difference is going to be alpha.